Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This reading is going to be on Judge Engoron and the New York civil trial. There's going to be a couple parts to this. One I wanted to jump on was a recent headline that involved Barbara Jones. She's the the retired judge that's overseeing the finances of the Trump businesses, and all as the Ace of Swords comes popping out and the Six of Swords is on the bottom there. She's the one who was to oversee all the business transactions, just to make sure that Trump Org is operating on the up and up and totally aren't hiding money and misreporting things and taking out lots of loans and stuff like that. Doing all the shady stuff that you might expect a corrupt organization that's been convicted of multiple felonies to do and prevent them from doing. She turned in a 12-page report to Judge Engoron, and she says, I've identified certain deficiencies in the financial information that I've reviewed, including disclosures that are either incomplete, present results inconsistently, and or contain errors. She did describe the business as cooperative, and the information submitted to her was pursuant to the terms of the monitorship order, and review protocols has at times been lacking in completeness and timeliness. What's been interesting in reading through her 12-page report, which I did, I kind of skimmed through it. The biggest things that I can come away with, and it's, probably the other stuff is more important, but this is the stuff that I understand, is that she was not informed of cash transfers from the trust. That's, I guess, the Donald J. Trump Trust, and sent to Trump, each exceeding $5 million and totaling more than $40 million until my team conducted a review of trust account bank statements. That's kind of a big miss, And the, we didn't know argument won't hold water. So I want to start there. And Judge Engoron wants to submit his ruling by the end of the month. And today is Saturday the 27th. So, Monday is the 29th. And there's only 31 days in January. So we are right up against it. Trump's already lost a judgment for $83.3 million to E.G. and Carroll. Lord knows how big this next one's going to be. In watching Midas Touch and Michael Cohen, Michael Cohen was mentioning that New York charges 9% interest rate for payments. So this stuff with Trump Org could double the amount that Judge Engoron awards as part of disgorgement. So if he does $300 million, that could be as much as $600 million after interest rates. Entertainment purposes only. What's going on with Barbara Jones's monitorship, her report, and the Trump Org? She is there uncovering the secrets and the mysteries behind Trump Org and Trump Towers and things along those lines. So what the secrets that they have are being revealed. Or they could not operate behind the scenes unmonitored. Cross with the Lover's card. I think she's and her auditors are getting a better understanding of Trump Org and its organizations and everything that's going on. And she's basically a friend and representative of the court. Now, she did say that they were cooperative with her, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Basically, my takeaway on it was people who didn't know what they were doing. When Donald Jr. says he doesn't know or what GAP is or understand what GAP is, and Eric Trump said the same thing, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I think neither of those two have any business running a lemonade stand, much less a multi-million-dollar corporation with all these shell companies and everything like that. Honestly, I think what's going on, and reading through her report, is that you've got a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing. And when the monitor was there, Barbara Jones was there, they had to start trying to run the business like a business, and they've never had to do that. So they don't have the processes in place. It's not I don't say it's not a legitimate business, but it's not run like a legitimate business. you have a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, or they have some idea of what they're doing, but there's no processes in place. So when information's asked for, they have to kind of like create it because there's no process in place to actually do it. Again, I work in the pharmaceutical industry, and this would be like not having standard operating procedures in place or work instructions in place. You kind of just do the job, but you don't really fully understand what you're doing. And now you've got like an FDA audit coming in, and you have to present all this documentation to them, and you don't have it, or it's not complete, it's not been reviewed, it's not been audited. You come across like Keystone Cops. There you go. I think for my audience, if I told you Donald Trump's company is run like Keystone Cops, you get the idea. It's not that everybody in the company is corrupt. It's just there's just chaos as they're scrambling around trying to get this process to work, and they don't have any structure. Underneath it all is a Page of Pentacles. She's looking at the money and the money transactions and how the money is moving around. This company was never set up to be a company. This company is basically a money laundering scheme, entertainment purposes only. Because a legitimate company would have processes and structure, and this is the antithesis of that. In the past is the Queen of Wands. This is Barbara Jones being assigned to the task of monitoring this company, finding out what's going on behind the scenes, and acting as a liaison between the company and the courts. She's just delivered her report to Judge Engoron. Judge Engoron is going to look at this report, and he is going to factor that into his judgment. At best, when you're talking Keystone Cops here, at best, he could say that, the company inadvertently committed fraud, something like that. But that's not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse for the law. It may not give you as much, not punishment for the company, but punishment for the individuals that are working there. They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing or trying to do what they do. But ultimately, it's the company that's just this festering sore, and it may not be worth saving. And already it looks like he's going to be I think he already ruled that the company needed to be disbanded. This did nothing to make him regret that choice. Let's put it that way. The Hangman reversed. Let's go ahead and put him that way. Basically, a willing sacrifice. This is not looking at things differently. This company, as I just said, this company is going to be disbanded. There's nothing worth saving in this company. It's not like you've got this well-organized machine and a couple of bad apples got in there. This is a slapdashed, rickety, it's a car held together with wood and nails and bungee cords. If you stop it from moving, it's probably going to fall. All the fenders are going to fall off the damn thing. It's not worth saving. The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Pentacles. This company was a vehicle for Donald Trump to promote himself as this wealthy person. And the company, it's not like a shell company, but it's kind of like a front. Like, I'm this really wealthy person because I'm the head of Trump.org and we're this powerful company, and they're anything but. It's Keystone Cops. It would be like saying, Keystone Cops security. We've got a top-notch security force. And then you see the organization, and it just doesn't work. I think the Keystone Cops is going to be my thumbnail for this one. I'll go look that one up. That'll be a fun one to pull up there. Outcome is the Six of Swords. Outcome from this is, and this could also be, these are the loans that aren't reported to Donald Trump. Let me touch back on this one. This company is a vehicle for Donald Trump to boast and brag about how wealthy he is or isn't. And the loans are probably going to be a part of this. It's going to be something that needs to be addressed. Her recommendation, if she were asked, is go ahead and disband this company. There's nothing here. It's just, it's a front. And again, I don't mean that it was set up as a front and there's nefariousness. It just literally is the embodiment of an organization that has no leadership, has no business plan, has no business being in business. It's like one of those worst nightmares that you can imagine. Hey, David, why don't you run this company? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that's fine. You're now the president of the company. Oh, by the way, we're having this court-appointed, a retired federal judge coming in, and you're going to answer all her questions. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know the answers. I'm just a simple person. Yeah, no structure. Yeah, when this thing goes away, it's not harming society. Disbanding Trump org, it is not harming society. And I'm not being snarky or mean spirited. There's just nothing there. There's just nothing there. Okay, so Judge Engoron. How does Little Four Carter? How does Barbara Jones's report impact Judge Engoron's ruling? Doesn't make any impact at all. Or what impact does it make? It does impact the ruling. And I'm getting that 6 here, so I really do wonder if it's a $600 million ruling when it's all said and done. He might have some empathy for the employees of Trump org. I bet you he absolutely has empathy for the contractors and subcontractors that were never paid by Trump org. But, he's taking this information. I'm sure Barbara Jones has given it a fair and balanced approval of it, and he's assessing what he's going to do with it in his financial decision. This is the report being communicated to him, and he has to make his decision fairly soon, too. Eight of Swords. Not that he's bound to her reports. The report, it's like, it's not showing like massive corruption or criminal intent underneath it. But there's no there. You know what I mean? I'm having a hard time explaining the ego. It's like a company made out of ego. He's not bound by her report to do one thing or another. In other words, like, oh, well, there's no corruption there, I can leave the company as. It's just, he takes the report, he understands the restrictions that she's underneath, and she's done what she can to best understand what's going on with this company. And here's your $40 million in loans to Trump. The company's not, he might have a hard time trying to decide, is the company purposely hiding financial information from her, or are they just incompetent? Underneath it all is the Queen of Pentacles, the practicality of it. He's got the report in there. He's going to use the report to help with his financial decisions. It's just that the report's not that insightful. It's not providing clear guidance what to do. I think, again, the guidance is that there's no great loss disbanding this company. There's no great loss in disbanding this company. The financial markets aren't going to collapse. People aren't going to be destitute. There's not going to be food lines. It's not a travesty of justice when this thing goes away. You look at it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line and go, ooh, that was a bad choice. No, nobody's going to say that. Keystone Cops Home Security Company is not what it's cracked. It doesn't meet the advertising. All right. Now, switching gears, 15 minutes into it. Judge Engoron. He's got a decision coming up next week. How is Judge Engoron going to rule? How much money Let's find the energy around his ruling here, and then we will ask how much. What's the energy around this? He's about done. He is. He's got. It's like one last battle. He's got one last thing he needs to do, and he's ready to go. And the King of Cups. Okay. I think. Oh, you know what this is? This is him. When he's getting ready to level his decision, he's thinking about the inevitable appeal that will come with it. Okay, it's like, this isn't the final decision. This is going to be my final decision, but Trump's going to appeal it. So let's make sure my decision is defensible. Yeah, he's already looking to the future. He knows that whatever decision he makes, it's going to be challenged in the future. So he is taking his time, and he's going to give a very mature decisions. It was a very contentious trial, and he needs to keep showing that he is emotionally in control. In the past, you got the Two of Cups, the agreements. I think what this is that the court was working with both sides, trying to get through this case and trying to be fair and truly trying to be fair and balanced. But you also had the agreements with the gag order. It's like Trump kept violating gag orders. He kept attacking the court, and it's hard not to add that onto damages, especially if there were punitive damages associated with this. I don't think there are punitive damages. I think this is just a civil trial, and it's just disgorgement. But if there were, he would consider it. Current situation, he's working on the finances. He's just about, he's working on that final settlement and wrapping up the financial settlement and getting ready to announce. Overarching energy is the King of Pentacles. Trump it's not necessarily on Engoron's mind, but this is on Trump's mind. This is really going to impact Donald Trump's financial future in a massive way. Sword of Justice lesson to be learned. You cheated on your taxes. You committed fraud. You lied about it. This company has been a lie and a fraud for as long as Donald Trump has run it. Justice has finally come for Donald Trump. And judgment will be rendered. Yeah, okay. So those are great cards. What that basically means is we are not going to be disappointed with the results. As long as you keep in mind that what am I trying to say? What I want to say is this isn't to punish Donald Trump. This is, you lied, you cheated, and you are going to pay for your lying and cheating and your stealing. Disgorgement is you made a bunch of money that you shouldn't have made, and you're going to have to pay that back. And again, the 9% interest that New York charges, woohoo, that's going to be expensive. There's something called, just a quick segue. There's something called the Rule of 72. You can look it up. If you ever wanted to find out how long it takes you to double your money, you divide the interest rate into 72, and that tells you how many years it takes you to double your money. So if at 9%, that means every 8 years, because 9 times 8 is 72, every 8 years, the money is doubled. So if you had $100 million and you invested at 9% interest for 8 years, you'd have $200 million after 8 years. What that also means, if you owed $100 million 8 years ago at 9% interest, at today's value, it's now $200 million. So, and part of the favorable loans that they got was over $100 million in interest payments they didn't pay. That could easily double. All right. What's going to be the final amount? What's going to be the... I don't know if there's punitive damages in this. Okay, for the disgorgement. I just want... What's Judge Engoron going to rule as the final amount? Either the final amount or the final amount after interest and everything like that. What's going to be the total bill to that Trump org is going to be hit with as part of this disgorgement. I'm having a hard time phrasing it right, especially after the E. Jean Carroll. I'm trying to be a little more precise, but let's see what we get. King of Swords. That's going to be harsh. It's going to be harsh. You know, the Queen of Swords is already harsh. This is the King of Swords. We're just going to take it up. We're going to take it up to 11 here. In huge disappointment. Betrayal. She was asking for 320 million. There might be 300 million, and that could be doubled. Let's see what we got for the rest of the cards. Eight of Swords. Okay, here's that report, that underlying report that Barbara Jones had put in here. This, oh God, maybe this is the, you know, going back to the report. I think Judge Engoron's still really upset by Trump's attacks on his court clerk. I'll bet you that's what that is. And she's been made a hostage or a victim in all this, and she had nothing to do with it. So when you go back to that previous reading where this was the central card underneath Barbara Jones's report, I think Judge Engoron's still thinking about his court clerk. Current situation is the Page of Cups. Yeah, okay. God, is he just... I don't think this is answering anything about the financial settlement. I think this is... Okay, what this is explaining Judge Engoron's mindset here. Yeah, this is just... Look at all these swords. There's no coins here. 4 swords. This is actually describing Judge Engoron's mindset. So this is one of those curveballs Spirit throws at me. Because as I'm reading, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. Now it makes sense. Because they're answering a different question. This is Judge Engoron's mindset. We're establishing his mindset before we get the money amount. There's a betrayal and disappointment, and he's bringing this thing to a close. And this has everything to do with his court clerk and the threats that were made against her and the attacks made against her. You know, backstabbing her and all the stuff with the gag orders. And the reason, what finally threw me over the top here was the Page of Cups represents my MAGA card. So this is the MAGA faction going after her and attacking her online, threatening her, threatening stuff like that. And he is going to put an absolute effing end to this. He is done. This man is done and done. Queen of Cups. He has kept his... You know, there are times he lost control of his emotions, but generally speaking, he kept his emotions in check. He didn't want to. He wanted to lay this guy out. But he kept his emotions in check for the most part. And now it's going to be time to pay the piper for that one. Yeah, willing sacrifice. Certainly Donald Trump is unlike any defendant he's had in there. And he's had to look at this case differently because he has to look down for the inevitable appeal. But Donald Trump's done this to himself. Whatever decision he makes, Trump has done it to himself. Oh, God, look at that. Queen of Swords. Yeah, and the decision, he's going to be ruthless. This decision is going to be ruthless. Look at all the freaking swords here. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, 3 of Swords, 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords. And then you got the Page and Queen of Cups. And throw in a Hanged Man in there as a willing sacrifice. This is going to be another one of those messages that gets sent. And again, he's looking at it to make sure that it will stand up to the inevitable appeal. But understand that this is an absolute betrayal to him and the court system and the total callous disregard that Donald Trump has for anyone or anything. Okay, Spirit, are we going to get a number here? Do we have an idea of roughly how much Judge Engoron is going to award or penalize Trump org in this Letitia James case? It's going to be a lot. Just like the E. Jean Carroll case was a lot. It's going to be a lot. There's your number. 700 million. whether that's the total, it might be 350 that doubles to 700 million. Balance. Oh, okay. This is going to be one of this is kind of like the high-low. The high-low juggling. But I think this is the double. I think the award's going to be roughly $350 million, and then it's going to double because of interest. So, or whatever the amount, it's going to come out to about $700 million. Do you want to throw any more in? Let's just take a look at the 4 cards. Ooh, wow. There's your pentacles. Oh, good Lord. I told you the other one was not about that because there are no pentacles in there. Now all of a sudden, here come all the pentacles. $700 million. He's again judging the high and the low values and where's the proper value to go in there. Probably, yeah, this is going to Trump org is going to be destitute out of this, and this is oh God. It was going to be between $500 and $900 million, and he's going to do it. The total is going to be $700 million. It's a huge amount. This is more than anybody's expecting. It's going to financially destitute Trump org, and Trump is going to bear the brunt of it. So again, between $500 and $900 million. It's a big amount, and it's probably going to be like $700 million, and I think that's including it being roughly doubled. 5 to 9 settles on the 7. Huge amount. All right. Well, if I'm right on this one, you heard it here first. Okay. And again, the thing with the appealing this is he has to put up a bunch of money to appeal this. Okay. Now this is not the funny part. How will the news of this ruling impact Donald Trump's mental health? Okay, little 4-carder. Well, maybe I'll do a bigger one. Depends on what the signifier card is. How will this financial ruling impact Donald Trump's mental health? Again, other readers have seen Donald Trump maybe having a health issue, and then right around the time that this money part is related. How is and remember, his net worth is equal to his self-worth, so he's about to lose his net worth. How is this going to impact his mental health? Magician, he's gonna go crazy. He's living in his la la land. That's gonna do, and he's gonna react violently to this. Oh, he's gonna be so angry. He is going to be angry, charging forward in his illusion. If he is mentally compromised, and he kind of seems like he is, this is going to speed this up incredibly. His anger is going to be off the charts, and that's going to impact his perception of reality. 3 of Wands, waiting for your ship to come in. You know what it is? He's losing hope. This could be him looking overseas. Like, if I've got no money here, all my money's overseas, hidden somewhere, I need to get to it. But this could also be him losing hope because he's waiting for the ship to come in to rescue him, and it's not there. Underneath it all, he's either getting ready to leave the United States or leave mentally. But I think this is causing him to lose hope in his reality that he's created. Yeah, 7 of Swords in the past. This is about him stealing. Him lying, cheating, and stealing, committing fraud, getting away with it his entire lifetime, and becoming wealthy. How many times has he declared bankrupt, and people still give him money? Oh, here come all the swords again. Current situation is the 5 of Swords. When this gets announced, again, I think he's going to absolutely lose it because he's never been held accountable before. And he's going to be, he's helpless. He's helpless to stop this. He can't, he's going to try. He's going to act like he's not. But this are the consequences. This is his narcissism. Through and through. Okay, right, because Five of Swords is narcissism card. We're asking about his mental health. This is his narcissism is going to be impacted by this. Page of Swords. There's a diminishment in his mental. There's going to be a diminishment in his mental acuity. He's going to go from, look at all the swords here. You're going to have a Knight of Swords. Something's going to happen quickly, and you're going from the Knight to the 7 to the 5 to the Page. Now, obviously, pages are higher than that, but you're going from a Knight of Swords to a Page of Swords. There's going to be a mental diminishment of Donald Trump because of this. And Justice has the sword too, and they have the sword of truth because of this judgment. Because of this judgment, he's going to mentally diminish. Now, again, he might try to flee, but I think he's losing hope. Let's see what the outcome is. The Empress. Oh, he's going to have a health problem. Yeah, the Empress is about taking care of your health and providing, and everything's imbalanced. He's out of balance. This is a low energy card. He's going to have his health event with this. How it manifests itself again, I don't know, but his mental health is going to take an absolute beating here. Not that this is a surprise or anything. What's one more card underneath here that as a clarifier? Ace of Wands. It's going to hit him hard. Something's going to happen to his health because of this, and it's going to hit him hard to the point where, like, he's not really able to do much. Again, if he had a stroke or something like that, or even a mental breakdown. But it seems like more, well, mental health is still health. But I'm not seeing any cups there. I would think a mental breakdown would be cups. We're seeing swords. We're going to see we're seeing a cognitive decline with him, and this event, this judgment is going to cause a rather severe decline, and it's going to be noticeable, and likely will impact his campaign. We are in for some interesting times, wild times, tumultuous times. Yeah. Try not to take joy in it. Try to look at it as, that Queen of Swords. You did this. This is the price you pay. And it serves as a warning for others. It's not a punishment. This is what happens when you cheat the system. You have to give the money back, and you have to give it back with interest. Disgorgement. That's why there may not be punitive damages in this. But yeah, Trump is going to get exactly what he deserves within what's allowable within the law. And his net worth is equal to his self-worth. His net worth is about to pretty much plummet to zero. His self-worth is about to plummet to zero. He's a narcissist, and that's going to basically break his reality. And if his reality is broken, then he's diminished. And he might very well be mentally broken by this as well. So a little bit of empathy for the soul that's inhabiting Donald Trump's body, because they've chosen a path where they could have been very enlightened and done a lot of good. And it appears they took a path of selfishness. Whether or not they were supposed to do that, I don't know. I can't speak to that. I always know that there's a choice. And he could have done a lot of good things had he chosen to. He chose not to, and now he will suffer the consequences for that. And in his mental health state, he may not be able to adequately deal with those consequences. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithms. My video makes it out to a wider audience, to folks just recently discovering this channel. Welcome. Glad you found us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.